Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. You might hear my cat in the background. He is going crazy and desperately seeking my attention, of course, just right when I start talking. He wants to talk to me. Anyways, hello, I am Courtney Perry. Welcome to the Ramblings of an Insomniac, episode 15. And I was thinking about how I really need to start stepping up my game as far as, again, I've mentioned this before, I'm kind of like a Nike person. I can't really make New Year's resolutions because it's almost like once I say it out loud, I just won't do it. I'm not sure why. I have to just kind of wake up, get out of bed, and just start doing it, If I think about it, if my brain gets in the way, it just screws everything up. So anyways, I was thinking about that because I stopped doing all my stretching and all my breathing before I go to bed. I was doing that for a long time, and I would do it every night before I went to bed, and it just helped immensely. It helped in 100 different reasons, for 100 different reasons. And I started thinking about follow through and how follow through is just so incredibly important, right? I mean, obviously, because if we don't follow through, nothing would ever get done. So, we wouldn't have anything, right? We have to follow through so that we can get the things that we want, or try to at least get things we want, whether it's a goal that we've set for ourselves or money or a significant other, whatever. But I thought about that too. And I was like, well, what does follow through mean? I'm like, follow through is important, because if you don't follow through, then you just go out and you get in your car and then, you don't step on the gas, then you're just going to be sitting in your car, right? You're going nowhere. And I thought, so follow through in life in general is so important, Follow through in golf. If you don't follow through in golf, you have no golf swing. If you don't follow through in swimming, you don't have a stroke. If you're playing a musical instrument and you're not strumming, you're not following through and strumming, well, you're not going to play the guitar, And I thought the same thing goes for parenting. If you don't follow through on saying what you mean, meaning what you say, it won't work. And following through with politicians, meaning what you say, saying what you mean, walking the walk. It's just important in life. Follow through is important. If you are going to tell your friend that you are going to be there for her and you're going to stand by her, or you tell your significant other you're going to be there for them and stand by them, then follow through, So I was just thinking about that because I suck at follow through when I'm making, if I say, okay, I'm going to get up every Monday and I'm going to do this kind of workout, and on Tuesdays I'm going to do that kind of workout, and on Wednesdays I don't like that. I don't like making a chart of what I'm going to do or seeing it. I just have to, I do like lists as far as I like a grocery list. I like a to-do list. But for me, a to-do list is different than saying, these are my goals and these are what I am going to strive for. I just have to do it. Like I said, I have to get up. If I think about making my bed and how much it sucks or whatever, I won't do it. I just have to get up and start making my bed. For some reason, I do not like putting away laundry or unpacking. I just cannot stand it. I'm incredibly OCD. I am very much compared to Monica on Friends. I'm a lot like her in many ways. She's a little more organized than I am. I'm not necessarily organized. I'm clean, incredibly clean. I'm not organized in some ways, yes. Other ways, maybe not. But at any rate, so it's just follow through is important. I have to get up, and I don't like putting away laundry or putting away groceries. I don't know why. So if I think about it, if it sits there and I go, oh, look at all that laundry. Well, now, of course, I'm like, ugh, and I won't do it. I just have to start doing it and not thinking about it. So anyway, I was just staying up and thinking about the things that I never followed through on and how bummed I am, because I feel like I could have been a really cool chick. I mean, I'm pretty great. No, I'm just kidding. I'm still, I like who I am. Don't get me wrong. I am where I'm at, and I'm very happy with that, because number one, you can either be unhappy about it and then fix it, and bitch and whine about it and just stay and wallow in your self-pity and be a victim, or you can follow through and do something about it, right? So I definitely have done the whole playing the victim, bitching about it. I've done that, been there, done that. Raise your hand if you've done that. I'm sure we're all guilty of it. But the follow through, if you don't like something or you want something done, then start with just getting up and opening your eyes and getting out of bed. At least that's some follow through. And then follow through with literally putting one step in front of the other to walk over to your closet and get some clothes on, kind of break it down one single thing at a time, But I just had that on my mind. I had the fact that I'm kind of bummed that I never followed through on so many things. I had all these grandiose plans, and I consider myself a pretty clever, I can come up with clever names, and I should have been in advertising and marketing, I feel like, because I can come up with some pretty clever slogans and names, and I don't know. I always like name people's dogs, and Allison, I helped Allison name her dog and stuff, but I do that a lot. And so I always thought, man, I could have been. And I get wrapped up in all of the could have, would have, should have's, and the things I didn't follow through on. And then I think, you know what? Let's focus on the things I did follow through on, which is this podcast. I was, and still am, scared shitless of doing this. I sweat almost every time. I pace around and sweat and breathe all weird, and I sound like I'm trying to be sexy, and I'm definitely don't come off that way at all, of course. But I get so panicked, and it's weird because it's just me. There's nobody else around, but I still want to have a panic attack every time. But I'm proud of myself because I followed through no matter what, no matter how scary it is for me or how much anxiety it gives me. I'm doing it. Whether people like it or not, I don't know. Whether people are going to listen, or continue to listen. I know people are listening, and thank you very, very much for that. I appreciate it so much. But are people going to continue to listen? Do people like it? And the fact that I followed through on so many things that I've been scared of, or so many things that I was unsure of, and it's nice. It's such a good feeling when you're really nervous about something. My youngest son was really nervous about going to an interview, and he had never had an interview. He's had jobs before, but he didn't have to have an interview. So he was incredibly nervous, and I tried talking to him and giving him some pointers and tips, and he almost didn't do it, and he did. And he got the job, and he was so proud of himself because even though he was incredibly nervous and had never done it before, he did it. And then look what happened. He got the job. And that just makes it feel so much more important, or so much, more, it just feels awesome. It feels great when you have worked so hard for something and then you're rewarded, like getting a job or getting first place in a sporting event, or someone loving your picture and someone buys it. That's another thing I did. I never wanted to put my pictures out there because I was like, they're kind of just for me. They're something that I like. I don't really know that I want someone judging them, But then I thought, well, why not? Why not? I want to know what other people think of me. Do I have a good eye? What do people think? So I entered my pictures in the state fair, and there were only 200 that got to make it through. And then mine made it in like the top 100. And then they were telling me that had my picture been larger, it probably would have been in the top 5. And at first I was like, well, top 5, boo. I want first place, man. What's up with the 5th place? But then I thought, well, wait a second. I didn't even want to put my picture, I didn't even want to enter it in the contest. And then it got up, to the top 25, and it apparently would have been in the top 5. And also, I guess that's kind of conceited of me just to expect first place when I've never done it before. But I get really hard on myself too. And so, but it felt good. And I wanted to focus on the fact that I did it and I didn't want to. And I've done some wedding photos that made me really want to shit myself, to be honest. It just makes me petrified in every aspect, because you can't ask someone to walk back down the aisle or have another first kiss or first toast or cut the cake again. You have to get it right the first time, or you just fuck up these wedding pictures that are like important, But I've done them and I got over it and I did them. I don't know that I'll ever do wedding pictures again, to be honest, because of that. It scares the shit out of me. Thank God there's people out there that do it. Thank the Lord, because they just scare me. And I'd rather be a part of the wedding party, I guess, And so, but I did it. I followed through. I followed through and it felt amazing. Even though I wanted to throw up, it still felt amazing. Oh my God, sorry. My heater just kicked on and my cat is meowing like crazy in the background. I apologize. I'm sorry. Keeping with the theme of, non-editing. So anyways, I just wanted to say to everybody, following through is important. Without follow through, we wouldn't get a lot of shit done in America and in the world in general, and just with ourselves. So even if it's something that you're scared of, try it out, follow through, see what happens. Maybe the most amazing thing in the world will happen. Maybe it just means you have an opportunity. Maybe it opened up a door. Maybe you met someone cool. Maybe you just did it and it meant that, hey, I did something I was scared of. Check mark. Whether you win or lose, whether someone likes it or not, at least you can say, I did it. I accomplished it. I followed through. So I just wanted to throw that out there and say, thanks again for listening. And I'm glad that I'm following through on this podcast, because whether it's a hit or not, whether people continue to listen or not, at least I'm doing it. And if anything, it's good to just get all this off my chest and be able to say it out loud. So, hey, therapy session, right? Anyways, take care, everybody. And remember, I hope I do care. And for what it's worth, I hope you're all well, safe, and have a good night. Thanks again for listening.